Hey, it's Minnick again from Lost Nation Homestead, and today I'm going to show you how to make venison pie. This is kind of like a Canadian meat pie. I grew up eating that as a kid. My father's side of the family was actually his parents and grandparents, and on both sides of his family were from Canada. He was first generation U.S. citizen. So this is a tradition that we've had, and I'm going to show you today. All right, so I've got my fresh ground pork, ground venison, and some ground sweet sausages that we made. So I'm going to throw that in the pan. All right, now my meat mixture is done cooking. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of each. I've got thyme, marjoram, whoop, a little bit too much, rosemary, sage. I'm going to add a little, probably half a teaspoon of sage, and a little bit of half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Now, depending on what kind of meat mixture you use, if you use a ground chuck with a heavier fat content, you might get a lot of liquid in your pan, and you're going to want to skim some of that off of the meat before you put it in your pie filling, or else you'll end up with a soggy bottom pie. Nobody wants a soggy bottom. I had 3 medium-sized potatoes that I chopped up and boiled real quick. I leave the skins on because we don't mind them. I'm just going to salt it real quick and pepper those, and then you don't really make mashed potatoes, like you don't put milk in it or anything. I just throw a tablespoon or 2 of butter on there. I just mash them up real quick with a potato masher. This just kind of sticks everything together. So you're not really making mashed potatoes, you're just kind of mushing them up a little bit. All right, get that all mixed in. Now it's ready to fill our pie. All right, I'm gonna try doing my pie crust in the KitchenAid this time. I usually do it by hand, but I'm kind of in a hurry and I want to see what it comes out like. All right, now if you don't have ground venison, you could definitely use ground beef and it'll come out just as good, or you could use 2 parts. You could use 2 parts of regular ground pork and regular ground beef, and it comes out delicious too. Now, the pie that my grandmother used to make was really, really thin. It was probably like ½ an inch thick. I think that's the traditional Canadian meat pie. Mine is a really thick one. I use the extra deep pie pan. The pie crust came out fine in the KitchenAid. It was a little bit harder to work with, but it probably would have been okay if I had taken the time to refrigerate it before trying to roll it out. But it definitely tasted fine, and to me it was worth the ease of doing it in the mixer. So our meal is done. The first piece of pie always comes out a little ratty, but everything on our plate is homemade. We have the meat pie, there's homemade cranberry sauce we made from local cranberries that we picked. We've got homemade bread and some fresh canned beets that we made here too. Check out the link to those videos below, and as always, thanks for watching, and we appreciate you taking the time to share and subscribe. Take care. See you next time.